Welcome to From Beyond with your host, Glenn Boddice. Join me as we explore spirituality, self-help, and channeling spirit. Hello and welcome to From Beyond with your host, Glenn Boddice, spiritual medium. Thank you once again for tuning in to another action-packed show this week, as we're going to be discussing the topic of amazing grace. Also in this week's show, we have the channeling from the world of spirit, which sees me becoming a vessel so that spirit can bring forward their wisdom and communications through. And then also in this week's episode, we have this week's energy forecast reading, which will hopefully help you navigate your way through the course of this week ahead. So then, let's crack on with today's subject. As I say, we're talking about amazing grace. What do I mean by that statement? Well, first of all, I mean you being comfortable in and being in awe of silence and the wisdom and the secrets that the silence possesses are far beyond our imagination can ever put together. Just having a moment in this sacred space of silence where there's no distractions, the phone is off, there's no music, there's no noise outside, there's no TV, there's no distractions whatsoever. You're just sat there having a very peaceful moment with your eyes open and just hearing your ears ring that sound of dee as you sit in that silence, and being comfortable and not irritated by being in this level of peace and tranquility. Because the first thing that you'll want to do is fill that silence, fill that space with activity, and you'll want to start to think something in your mind. It's just a habit that we've all been, I would say, accustomed to over the years that we've been here. And so just allowing yourself to have that peace and quiet and just be amazed by how much peace, how much love, how much healing, wisdom and inspiration are in these moments of silence. You will be quite surprised, and just have that sort of state of being where you're observing what you're experiencing, what you're feeling, the ideas that are coming into your mind as you create that space for this process to occur. So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing that I would employ everybody to try and get at least once a week, get into the habit of sitting in that space there. And what you will find is sitting in this peace, it will raise your vibration. It will allow that peace to rise up. It will allow that peace to unblock any old belief systems or energies that are stopping you on your life's journey. So just be in a state of awe. Observe the process as you notice some old feelings starting to rise up. When you sit in that silent space and just be comfortable by being in it, you'll notice a lot of changes will occur. Also with this, you'll notice there'll be a subtle and strong connection of the spirit world, inspiring and healing you. Now, what I mean by that is when you create that space and when you allocate that time at least once a week, if I know we all live busy, hectic lives, but if you make that continued space and time at least once a week, you'll start to notice that your higher self, your spirit guides, your friends and family from the world of spirit will take this huge opportunity in stepping forward and bringing forward some communication to you. Now, to begin with, this communication will be very subtle. So it may be a passing thought that connects you with maybe a loved one in spirit, something that you've never thought about for years. Then all of a sudden that thought flashes in front of your mind. You'll get an emotional connection to that thought. And just be aware that this is spirit working with you in that space that you've created for them to make this communication. So no, you're not making it up. No, it's not your mind playing tricks on you. It is spirit that are bringing forward that evidence and letting you know that they're very much around. They're doing absolutely fine. And this is a way of them communicating with you. Also, pay attention in these quiet moments, because myself personally, this is where I get a lot of inspiration for the talks on these shows. Also for the spiritual development classes that I teach. And getting into this practice of being comfortable by being in the silence, this is how I get the inspiration and information from my guides, from my higher self, in order to do the work that I do. So it's very beneficial, I would say. And I would recommend, like I say, that at least once a week, you allocate a certain time on a certain day. And if you can keep and hold that time and that day every week in a ritualistic manner, then the more connection and the more communication you will receive from spirit and your loved ones there, as they will know that this is their time with you because you're holding that space for them to come in. So it's very important, I feel, that if you can, you do that. You'll notice massive changes within your life once you start doing that. And you'll find that life seems more peaceful. Life just feels more beautiful, and you'll notice gratitude in every moment as well. You'll just have a new level of gratitude. With that being said, acts of kindness for you and through you will start to occur as you allow yourself to blend with this amazing grace, this precious space, this peace. You'll notice that not only will you be inspired to participate in random acts of kindness, and for many of you, perhaps you won't be doing it from a perspective of what's in it for me. It will just feel like it flows through you. You won't have any agenda whatsoever, and you'll just go with it, and you'll follow those inspirations to maybe donate or give your time, give a compliment. It doesn't have to be monetary, could be your energy, could be anything, but you will do it because that's who you are when you connect in with this peace and you allow yourself to flow with this amazing grace energy there. But obviously the universe works in a cycle. So whatever you need will always come back to you. It may not be in the time where you're wanting, but it will be in the time that is correct for you. And obviously, with being in this state of peace and bliss, it will flow to you a lot easier because those blocks won't be there anymore. You'll just be flowing, you'll be giving, you'll be receiving. So it's a balancing act that will come very natural to you when you start to appreciate the beauty in the silent spaces of life. Also, moving out of your own way. Now, this is something that we've all been guilty of at some point in our life, myself included, where we like to organize everything to such a degree that we're stifling ourselves. We're placing ourselves in, I would say, an energetic prison of some kind, with this urge and insecurity and need to control every situation. Now, obviously, this creates a block in the flow, a block in this peace that we speak of today. And it's only when you recognize, well, actually, and you stop blaming other people, actually, you step outside of yourself, see the bigger picture, and you realize that you're putting these blocks in front of yourself. Maybe this is out of habitual habits, or maybe it's subconscious beliefs that are continually in operation in your life. And it's only when you step outside of that and start to notice that actually you're doing this to yourself. And so moving out of your own way. Now, in order to do that, you have to show a level of trust and compassion to yourself. In the beginning, it can be quite, I would say, traumatic, because you feel anxious that I haven't done this, I need to do that, and what happens if I don't do this? There's all of these questions and this sort of anxiety that flashes through you. When actually, when you take a back step and connect with the silence, connect with the peace in every single moment that we choose to focus on, then what you'll notice is there will be this flow that will occur in your life where you'll get everything done that you need to get done in that moment in time. And also, you will feel that the divinity will be helping you, will be inspiring you, will be guiding you throughout every moment. And so before, you would have to maybe have a to-do list. You would have to organize your time very rigidly. Whereas where you're connected in this peace vibration, you will instinctively feel when you have to act on maybe a project, or you have to go and visit somebody or whatever. You will feel that pull, you will feel that draw. And when you think about it, the universe sees the greater good in every situation and sees the bigger picture. So there's no greater organizer, if you will, than the universe. And it's when we align with those energies that we can connect with our flow state, and we don't feel that stress, that anxiousness. We eradicate that urge to control, and we simply move and flow with life with ease and grace, eradicating these blocks that we've placed inside ourselves and in front of ourselves will actually allow that process to occur. So also, with me saying this, it ties in nicely with letting your guard down. Many of us, myself included, and I have done this in the past, so hands up, we've put a guard up for whatever reason. Maybe we've been hurt emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever the situation is. We've placed up a guard in front of ourselves, and this has kept us closed off from our flow state. It's kept us closed off from our highest potential, because there's this, behind this guard, there's a level of, I would say, fear of something going wrong, something negative occurring. And so we need to work on that. And the way that we work on that, letting that guard down, is doing it in incremental steps. So each day, do something that stretches you outside of your comfort zone, that slowly removes that guard from in front of you. And start and celebrate these minor successes. To you, they may seem huge, huge leaps of faith. To other people, they may be considered as, well, I do that very easily, that's not a problem. And you'll hear people say that. It's none of their business, really, is it? The fact that you're celebrating these minor successes will all add up, will all give you that confidence. Give you that confidence to let that guard down. And in doing so, it's when you do this that you start to notice that life will flow and work with you in your favor. And your connection to universal energy will increase. Like we said earlier, similar to removing the blocks in your life, letting these guards down. Now, we can have guards around our heart emotionally. Maybe we've been hurt before. Well, a level of trust needs to build up in that respect, doesn't it? And again, removing those shackles of fear out the way and trusting again that the universe has your best intentions at heart, and it sees the greater good in every situation. So when you start to trust that and let the guard down, you'll notice that this is where you will receive some inspiration. What spirit like to do and your higher self likes to do, in my experience, is they like to stretch you a little. They like to push you out of your comfort zones so that you can expand your awareness, build your confidence up, and in fact grow and expand as an individual. After all, we're all here to learn, and when we expand our consciousness and awareness, everybody benefits, because the energy that creates and that we put out into the world and into the universe, it just creates this massive change in vibration of expansion. And if we're doing all of these lessons with love and with gratitude and with grace, then the energy is heightened for everybody to experience. That's just my observation of the process anyway. But in doing so, like I say, you will instantly feel more confident. You will flow. You won't hold your conversations back anymore. You'll just speak your truth, and you won't be giving any time or attention to people that don't necessarily align with the words or you as a person. You'll just allow them to be. And by doing that, again, you're tapping into this amazing grace, this unseen hand, this energy that is constantly working in every single moment of your life. And it's only when you take that time out to appreciate it, that it is there, it is working with you and wants to work with you, if you step out of the way and allow it to. And it's only when we recognize that a lot of the elements of our life start to change and grow and flow with ease and grace there. And you are very safe to be you, because after all, you've arrived here with all of the knowledge and the tools that you need to fulfill your purpose. Now, I know for some that may sound a little bit out there. Really? I've arrived here with all the tools that I need? Well, I say yes. And I would say to that also that, again, it's moving out of the way of ourselves. Often we reach out to others for answers, for help, for guidance, don't we? In actual fact, if we connect in with this peace, this silence, and not be intimidated or afraid of it, this is how we can connect in with our knowledge base that we've already come down here with. And we get it through feelings, through emotions, through repetitive thoughts, images in our mind, even sensations on the physical body. This knowledge is bursting at the seams to come out and tell you the information that you need at that moment in time. So never stress, never worry. You have all of the knowledge, all of the tools that you need in order to complete your tasks on your lifetime, on your journey there as well. So tapping in again on a regular basis into this silence will help you obtain that information. And this is something that always amazes me, actually. I find fascinating, because one of my things is that obviously I've said on here before that I have dyslexia. And that brings forward quite a few challenges for those of you that are dyslexic yourself. And you have a different viewpoint and a way of thinking and collecting information. Now with me, I find it particularly difficult to retain information. And one of those reasons, I believe, is because obviously I work with spirit and I do channeling as well. And to my understanding, what my guides have said, and they use this analogy, so I'm going to share the analogy with you. They use the analogy of a mobile phone, for example, in today's world. If we have a mobile phone that's full of information, documents, music, videos, pictures, after a while, that information starts to clog up the phone, and the phone takes up a lot of energy in holding that space for that information to stay on that phone. In doing so as well, this has the potential to slow up the running speed of that phone. And also the RAM, the random access memory, so that the memory that your phone uses to quickly perform tasks and connect in with the internet, connect in with phone signals and all of that, that is being slowed down. It's not as quick as what it could be. And so my guides have used this analogy in terms of us as beings. If we fill ourselves up to the brim with so much wisdom, knowledge, information, it clouds our mind. It blocks some of this universal energy that we speak of, sitting in the silence and connecting with the silence. It blocks a lot of that out. So they've used this analogy in order to promote that actually you have everything that you need, all the knowledge that you need, all the tools that you need in any one given moment. And you don't have to have a level of anxiety of, I haven't done that research, I haven't got that certification, I haven't got that qualification. They've said, no, don't fill your head with all of that. You've just got to be comfortable in the silence, and the information that you will need will come to you at the right time. In other words, creating that space for me to connect in with that knowledge base, that universal knowledge base that we all have access to when we connect inwardly with this silence and be amazed by this grace that we all have. So that's something that fascinates me. And with me having, like I say, the dyslexia, because sometimes I think, well, I don't know that. How am I going to learn that? Because I won't remember it. And my guides are always encouraging me, well, don't worry about it. We will tell you, we will help you. You will get what you need when you need it. And so that's what I'm referring to when I say that you come down here with all the knowledge, the wisdom, and the tools that you need in order to fulfill your role in your incarnation here. So yes, very interesting. And what my guides have said in this particular talk, this communication, is that time is irrelevant. Let's think about that. Time is irrelevant. You see what I did there? I held that space for that peace. Also, what they've added to that is that intention, allowance, and frequency are all that matters. So I'm going to read that out again because it's very profound but very on point. My guides have said that intention, allowance, and frequency are all that matters. So that I find that absolutely fascinating, that they should bring that information through in that way. And of course, let's break that down. Intention. This is what we want to create. After all, we are creators. We're here to create. We're here to evolve. And we're here to manifest, aren't we, as well? And so intention, that is knowing who you are as an individual, knowing what you are aligned with. And when you have that realization, it's stating it, declaring it, not only to yourself, but to the universe. You can do this in many ways. You could speak it out aloud. You could write it down on paper or digitally. But to get it out there from nothing into something, into form, that is stating an intention or setting an intention. And it could be anything. I like to use affirmations in particular, such as like, I am love, I am light, I am peace, I am truth, I am harmony, I am wellness, I am health, I am secure. Things of that nature. I like to use intentions and set affirmations along with them as well. But also, following what my guides have said, allowance. And what they mean by that is you stepping out of the way of the wheres, the whys, the whats, the whos, the whens, all of that anxious thinking. Remove all of that and simply allow. It takes great practice to kind of sit back and allow and trust and have faith and align. It's something that I continually work on, and I'm sure many of you that are listening to this right here, right now, are in the process of doing the same yourselves. So it's an ongoing process. Those of you, if you're like me, are very much the sort of people that like to help and like to give and inspire and help others, will find letting go of those reins and allowing things to come in, allowing and trusting, you will find that particularly uncomfortable because you're so used to giving all of the time. So it's about having that confidence and holding that space that you are worthy, you are worth it. You give and you must receive. This is how the balance of life flows. And then my guides were talking about frequency there. So frequency, it's about alignment, isn't it? It's about matching vibrations. It's about when we connect in with that peace. We're in a stronger perspective there to clear the mind, to clear the debris that we've been carrying around, to let go of those old belief systems and simply focus on our intentions and allow the process to unfold with non-judgment, and just simply hold those intentions, hold those feelings and allow. And by doing that, you will connect and align with the frequencies of grace, of the divine, of this beautiful peace energy. And it's this, when you're in alignment, this is where things will start to change and shift in your life in such a way that it will amaze you, as the title suggests in today's show, Amazing Grace. It will happen in ways that you will have never considered before. And you can't work out, well, how did that happen? How did I meet that person? How did I get that opportunity when all other doors were closing in front of me? How did that work out? Well, here's how. You allowed. You stepped out of the way of yourself. You trusted. You had faith. And you went with it. And when you got that inspiration to move and say yes and move forward, you accepted that inspiration and you put it into action. And then when you followed that inspired action, this is how it came into form into your life. Now, this could be anything. It could be a new job, something that you've always wanted. It could be a relationship. It could be an opportunity. It could be a moving of house. It could be anything. But I would say that what we're talking about today will dramatically help you in every part of your life. And you will be able to use this, practicing on a weekly basis, as sitting in that silence, accepting the silence, and just observing. It will help you dramatically within your life, and you'll notice these changes occurring. So this is what I thought would be more beneficial for you to hear in today's conversation. I say I thought, but that's not the case at all. As I've said to you before, that all of these shows and the information that I share with you is actually from Spirit. I am the vessel for them to bring these communications through. And so I'm very grateful to be given that opportunity where I have that availability to regularly sit in that peace, sit in that silence, not be intimidated by it, and simply allow these beautiful channelings, communications and wisdoms to come through. Because at the time, I never know what I'm going to talk about. I never know what I could say. And like I was saying earlier, this is because I don't retain the information very well. And so I simply step outside of myself and allow this information to come through me and from spirit and from my higher self. And like my guides have said, that the knowledge and wisdom base we already have. It's when we move out of the way, then that's when it will come forward. And in fact, that's what happens on these shows that we do every week. So it's a beautiful energy exchange when you take that time out. If you have the opportunity to maybe have a lay in bed one morning when you haven't got a lot of responsibilities that day, treat yourself to a lay in bed, not to sleep, but just to lie there in the silence with your eyes open. Notice how silent the room is. Notice how relaxed you feel. Notice how comfortable you feel in that moment. There's a little exercise for you to practice that will get you into this level of being amazed by the grace that is around you in every moment of every day. Well, now we're moving into the next section of the show, which is this week's channeling from the world of spirit, which sees me becoming a vessel for spirit to bring their communications through. So please sit back, relax, and embrace the wisdom and information from spirit.
Hello, what a pleasure it is to come through in this manner. It's so wonderful to be here. We have lots to talk about with you. One of the first things I'd like to personally discuss is self-preservation. Now, this is something that's often overlooked by people in your society. You're too preoccupied in the vibrations of other people's business, and what we're alluding to today is talking about you keeping your energy sustainable. Or we're also talking about you taking personal responsibility for your vibration, your thoughts, your emotions, and generally speaking, looking after oneself. So with this being said, what we would advise for you to do at this moment in time is to keep yourself protected in a bubble of light, and also ask with intention to be placed in this bubble. You'll also find yourself moving away from society's energy that's been pulling you down for such a long period of time. You will find that this energy will make you feel very uncomfortable, very lethargic and lightheaded, and it will feel almost as if you're having your very own essence drained away from you. The second thing we'd like to advise you is the practice of self-love and fulfillment. Now, we observe that you're in a society that promotes you to attain collecting things and gaining more, amassing more. You're just in this society of that. So what we say to you is that it would be better to gift yourself time, as you cannot purchase time, so to speak, but you can honor your own time whilst you're here. So you'll start to feel that urge to make more positive life choices that gift you that time of peaceful contemplation, in that time of just embracing the universal energies that are here for you. You do not have to go working hard or searching for this peace and tranquility. Many people will want to or believe they shall have to go visit very faraway lands and go and work their fingers to the bone in order to have these experiences of perceived enlightenment. And we say to you, you do not need to go anywhere externally. It is an inside job, and it's a choice. It's an intention. And when you resist the urge to force things to occur and simply relax into a moment, focusing in on your heart, then this is where that gift of time, peace, and tranquility is already here. It's already yours to own, to feel. From this perception, in this vibration of peace and love, serenity, you will find that you won't be rushing around trying to achieve things. You'll simply relax into life, and life will blend and work in your favor. The opportunities will come towards you, as there will be no blocks or limitations in your way that you have placed before you. Now, you must understand that a lot of the time you do not consciously put these blocks in front of yourself. Why would you do that? It is all down to the programming in your subconscious mind, the way that you've been brought up in society and what society is trying to dictate upon you that are causing these blocks. It's just your reaction to the energy that's being transmitted from the general population. Also, looking after oneself, you will make more conscious decisions, better choices in your life. It's not always about the financial gain and opportunity anymore. Instead, it will be, like we've already suggested, your time, your peace, your vibration. And if anything or any opportunity doesn't align with any of those things, then you will not pursue it or allow it in your vista, as you know that this will take you out of alignment with your peace, with your bliss. And so you'll make more conscious decisions based upon the feeling tone and you staying in that state of bliss and tranquility. Now, there will be those of you that are listening to this, there's going to be some dramatic changes in the way that you connect with others. Based around these topics that we're discussing today, there will be a connection-based feeling. And even though people may project themselves over to you, that they're beautiful people, they're very helpful and kind, they may be projecting that facade, that imagery over to you. Instead, you will be working on an energetic feeling tone vibration. And if that doesn't match up with what they're suggesting or transmitting to you, vocally, physically, then you will not give them your time and attention. You will trust the inner core of the vibrations that you're picking up. And in many respects, your life will blossom and grow now that you're drawing your inspiration from the vibrations of the feeling tone, rather than what is being, shall we say, suggested to you via your other senses, your sight, your hearing, your perceptions. You trust energy, because after all, energy does not lie. Energy is what it is, and you'll be utilizing this technology that's been around before you were even suggested as a species, the truth vibrations. You'll be working from that vibration. That vibration interacts with your heart. So you base a lot of your decisions and your lifestyle around the feeling tone emitting into your heart. And working from this perception and perspective, you'll notice that the environments in which you live in will be changing, because they will have to match up to this vibration of the truth and the essence of who you are. So many of you will find yourself being drawn to other areas, other locations, to form what we would describe as alternative communities. Communities that all vibrate on a similar frequency of love and understanding and have this greater perception of the feeling tone. So watch out for that coming in for you. In fact, in next year, the year of 2024, we'll see a lot of these communities starting to come together. Albeit at the time they're not familiar of the reasoning behind why they are all feeling drawn to certain locations, but they'll hear the call and answer it and so forth, and then they'll put this into action. So watch out for that. This banding together of civilizations will in turn allow the truth vibrations to rise to the surface, and many untruths that have been hidden away from societies for many, many, many years will start to come to the surface in such a way that it will unfold like some sort of period drama or some sort of serial television program. It won't appear to be real. It will seem rather, shall we say, it will go against what you've been educated to believe. But your feelings in your heart will tell you the truth in that situation. And you'll trust that, and you'll know that a lot of these changes coming in are for the uprising and the betterment of your civilization upon this planet Earth. We hope this information finds you well and gives you something to ponder over in your quiet moments. We thank you for listening in. I would now like to hand over the baton to another communicator to come forward and deliver some more information to you. Thank you for listening.
You know, it's something we've always wanted for you all. We've always wanted you to find your inner divinity, your truth. We've always wanted you to know how wonderful you are. The power that you resonate will now be becoming more obvious to you, to such a degree you will not be hiding behind a bushel, so to speak. You will be emitting beautiful rays of colorful energy. We understand to most of you that are listening, this will sound a little bit, shall we say, New Age. But we say there's never ever been a New Age. It's always been here. It's just the fact it's been hidden by those that don't want you to ascend and grow. And we say that your ability to tap into knowledge beyond your comprehension is upon you. It always has been. To the point where books will be rewritten. The educational system will change because of this internal knowledge and the connection to the source energy. And also what will change is the way that you interact with one another. There'll be more compassion towards one another without attachment. There'll be greater understanding. There'll be an equilibrium of hope and love and peace within your society. Although, as you know, for great change to occur, there has to be a level of contrast to force it in that direction. So you will observe the changes coming into your planet. And in many respects, there has been a waiting list for souls to incarnate on this planet. at this period of time, because of this matter, this witnessing of this change, where society and the world in which you perceived it is transforming into such a beautiful environment for all to come into. You'll all notice a change with your level of manifestational methods. In other words, your perception and how you can attract the things that you desire into your life a lot more easier, effortlessly. As you understand the technology of aligning frequency and vibration, you'll all experience this so-called magic occurring in your lives, where life will flourish for you. But you understand the other side of this magic, that in order to continue this magic and have this fulfillment within your life, you understand that you've got to be investing in your own personal power, the protection around yourself, keeping yourself buoyant and in alignment with your best and highest vibration. For some, this will feel quite alienating, as you will have to distance yourself from the societies that do not share your belief systems. However, they will do eventually. They're just on a different timeline, but they will play catch up. Most of you that are listening to this will be pioneers in your field, helping people to obtain their divinity and to hold their frequency dear in these new times where you are living. Like we say, many have wanted to come here and witness this shift in your vibration as a community, as a society, and also the planet itself is changing. We've mentioned many times before in these channelings that the colors will seem more vivid, more vibrant, more alive. Whereas, as you witness them now, there is a tinge of grey to them. There is a dulling down of the shine of the colors. You will notice this vibrancy in your surroundings. And it doesn't matter if you're living in a town, in a city where there's lack of, shall we say, natural plants and vegetation. All the colors of those buildings and the materials used in those buildings will also have a resonation and will resonate high vibrational colors. You'll just notice them. That won't be coming in just yet, because your perceptions have to change before that is all witnessed. But you will be witnessing these changes. So thank you so much for listening. Now I'd like to leave you with this contemplation in your mind that you are worthy, you are worth it, and you are deserving, and you signed up to come here and experience these. So enjoy yourselves. We bid you farewell and thank you for listening.
Well, another fantastic transmission from the world of spirit. Really appreciate how much they dive deep with that conversation. So next, here is your weekly energy forecast reading. Hello, my name is Glenn Boddice and I'm a spiritual medium, and welcome to this week's energy forecast reading for the week commencing Monday the 11th of December 2023. Now, those of you that watched me before will know that I connect with my spirit guides and helpers and also consult the wisdom of the angel tarot cards. So what I'm about to do is just shuffle the pack and allow a card to come out for this week's energy forecast reading. Well, we had a jumper, another one this week. So this is this week's card. I'm now going to link into the vibration of that and bring forward the information for you. First of all, this week I'm hearing very clearly repeated, should I say, from my spirit guides, spark in your heart. So with them saying that, there's going to be ignition in your heart, something that's going to ignite your heart, open it up and allow you to shine bright to others, being that beacon of light that you truly are. You'll notice that people will naturally gravitate towards you this week for your wisdom, for your words. Also, they'll be looking at you slightly different, maybe than they have done in the past. They're going to, rather than how they've put you down in the past, they're going to see you as you are, as you're radiating brightly this week. I also feel that this week there's going to be a lot of confusion in society, and your increased level of sensitivity will be picking that up. You will be finding that there's going to be a lot of people that are confused. They don't know who they are as a person, as an individual, and they just need that little bit of encouragement to let themselves blossom and grow. So when you do notice these people gravitating towards you, just don't judge them. Give them that patience and that time that they truly deserve, and they will appreciate it. I've also got to say with you that this week we'll also see you progressing forward on your timeline within your life. Now, what I'm talking about when I'm saying this, I'm talking about everything starting to line up for you. So those of you that are watching this, look out for those small nuances within your life. Although at first glance, you will think, well, that's nothing, but actually it's leading to something. These nuances, these little signs from the universe are leading to something beautiful in your life. So hold your faith, have patience, and just be observant. I also feel that this week there's going to be some changes coming in for you. Now, when I'm talking about changes, I'm talking about you changing your mind, changing your opinion. And you have every right to do that. But I feel as though this week we'll see you actually holding your hands up and saying, well, actually, I don't vibe that way anymore. I just said it at one time. I was into that, but now I'm not into that. And there's something about you changing your mind about something, but taking responsibility and ownership for that. I also see that this week will see you being very sensitive with the foods that you're consuming. So although it is the winter months and we generally like to have warm foods and stock up on foods, I mean, nature nature brings that sort of feeling into us, doesn't it? But I feel that this week we'll see you actually not eating as much, because you'll get your sustenance, your energy that you need from your vibration and your connection to the universe. Now, I know this sounds a little bit out there to most of you that are listening to this, but what I feel as though you will know, you'll just get a feeling. You just won't even think about food, and you'll have to be reminded that you need to have something to eat. So just watch out for that this week. Also, I feel this week there's going to be you being more organized and bringing forward your plans for next year. If you're not vocalizing it to friends and family, you'll at least be churning it over in your mind and contemplating what you are wanting to achieve next year ahead of it unfolding. So let's turn over the card and go through it with you. At the top of the card, it reads 3 of Michael. So I'd like to give you the angel number of number 3 to go and research, as that will give you some additional content and information and guidance. And Michael is talking about Archangel Michael. So he's talking about cutting cords there as well. He's talking about the old version of you, maybe releasing those energies that aren't you anymore. You've outgrown them, and you're now taking ownership and responsibility for who you are in this moment in time. And so with the help of Archangel Michael will help you to clear those energy blocks and move forward with ease and grace. At the bottom of the card, it reads, release the past. You will grow from this situation. Time heals all wounds. So in many respects, that's going in line with what my guides were saying there as well. Letting these elements of you go, these old versions of yourself go. Like we were saying, things that you used to be into, you won't necessarily be aligning with that anymore. And you'll hold your hands up and actually say, well, actually, that's not me anymore. I'm ever so sorry, but no, I'm not feeling that vibe anymore. There's going to be a lot of you that will start to feel that energy, whether this is in terms of relationships, friendships, or even your tastes in music, or going out, mingling with people, socializing. There's going to be a little change in that, and so it just sees you taking ownership and just admitting that you're not that person anymore. There's nothing wrong in doing that. Looking around the edge of the card, we've got this color of, it's a blue purple. So it's talking about this protection from spirit this week, your increased sensitivity. You're going to notice spirit interactions around you, whether you're a medium, whether you're sensitive or not. You're just going to witness like bright sparkles of light in the area that you're located in. And also you'll notice that you have a level of increased sensitivity with your emotions. You will feel more confident in expressing how you feel this week as well. So don't hold back. Let the energy flow through you. Looking into the artwork of the card there in the center, as you can see, we've got Archangel Michael, and he's consoling a female there as well. So to me, that represents the angelic realm stepping in, that they're not going to leave you high and dry. They're going to come in, they're going to help you, they're going to give you that inspiration, and also they're going to help you connect in with the truth of you, who you are in your heart. So if you do feel your heart skipping a beat or fluttering, like we said earlier, that spark in your heart, this is also the healing that's coming in from the angelic realms and your spirit guides and helpers. So embrace it. There's nothing medically wrong with you there. Just embrace that energy there. It's also talking about, if we look at Archangel Michael's wings there, they're facing down, they're shielding. So again, it's going what we were saying about the spiritual world connecting with you and shielding and protecting your vibration this week, as you do allow yourself to be vulnerable and comfortable in the vibration of being vulnerable, letting that inner version of yourself out into the ether there. There's also a dove there, a white dove. So to me, that indicates peace, tranquility coming in. But I'd like you to research the animal totem of the dove, as there will be additional content and information. Also, I'm being told messenger. There's something about messages coming to you this week, not only from the universe, but I'm hearing a pinging sound. So watch out for your phone being more active this week with messages. And I'm being told to decide and put your energy in contacting, or at least having conversations with people that you are in alignment with. Don't waste your time on talking unnecessary topics that are no longer you anymore either. So also in this card, we have beautiful hillside, beautiful countryside. This is talking about you connecting with your inner nature, going with the flow, and allowing yourself to experience that level of peace and tranquility this week where you can. So if you get the opportunity to have half an hour to yourself, take that time just to relax, declutter the mind, and just allow yourself to feel comfortable in your own skin. And this will enable you to feel that spark in your heart, that beautiful warm feeling from your heart, which will give you that strength and courage to communicate with others on a heart-based reality there. So that's what I'm picking up for this week's energy forecast reading. I hope that aligns with you. Thank you for hearting, liking, commenting and sharing. If you've enjoyed what you've seen on here and you would like to support the work that I do, I have got a Buy Me a Coffee link, which is a virtual tip jar. So all of your tips and your donations will be greatly appreciated and used in accordance with the spiritual work that I do, helping other people ascend and grow on their spiritual pathway. If you would like a one-to-one private reading or any other of my services, you can go over to my website. There's a link above or below, www.glennboddicespiritualmedium.com. And if you want to find me on Facebook, I'm Glenn Boddice Spiritual Medium. Also join me every Monday, 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time, with my radio show From Beyond with Glenn Boddice, talking about all things spiritual, paranormal and self-help on www.pulsetalkradio.com. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful week. Bye for now.
Well, it sounds like we're all in for a very interesting week, doesn't it? Lots of evolution happening within our hearts, within our emotions there. So just embrace it and be gentle with yourself and own your truth. So thank you for tuning in for once again for another action-packed show. I hope you've enjoyed the content that has come through from the world of spirit. If you do have any show suggestions, any ideas or stories you'd like to share with the show, contact me at www.glennboddicespiritualmedium.com or glennboddice@live.co.uk. It would be wonderful to hear from you and share your stories with the listeners there. So join me the same place, same time, 4 p.m. Greenwich Mean Time on www.pulsetalkradio.com. Have a fantastic week, everybody. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to From Beyond. For more information about what products,
services Glenn provides, go to Glenn Boddice Spiritual Medium